Do you see this book? Do you see the whole title? I hope you can see. Yes, this is an extremely dangerous book. Not dangerous because it is going to mislead you, but because it is going to interfere with what you have held perhaps for a very long time, as I'm just about to explain. But before we do that, there's what we say all the time as a prayer. That Eko Signore, vengo pal via tua volontà. Here I am, Lord, I come to do your will. And as we say all the time, in case you'd like to have a tete-a-tete conversation, you can always write an email to us, tpoopaman@gmail.com. Let me spell that word for you. tpoopaman@gmail.com. Now, let's get in. Growing up, most probably is that you must have attended a seminar or a workshop, or you might have studied in a lesson, in a lecture, stuff like that, whereby personalities were classified into 4 major groups. These are the phlegmatics, the sanguines, the cholerics, and the melancholics. And in fact, for a very long time, I never thought outside those 4 major classifications, and I had at times trouble placing myself in one of them, although I still can. Maybe even before the 4 classification, maybe you have been placed, or you have also placed yourself into those other 2 major classifications of personalities. These are those people who are the chatterboxes. Chatterboxes in quotes, people who are speaking, talking. In fact, people who derive their energy by being so much into people. The extroverts. And people who recharge by withdrawing from people, the introverts. And again, for a very long time, I never thought that there could be other classifications outside that. Then later on, I went online. I don't know when you go to online, what exactly you do. What do you exactly do online? What drives you there? Is it entertainment? Is it search for information? Is it education? Is it simply boredom? Just want to scroll. Anyway, one time I was scrolling, and a person I follow very closely said that she belongs to number 8 in the Enneagram. I've been postponing this for a very long time to study the Enneagram. Then, as we say, an idea whose time has come is irresistible. I came across this book, Discovering the Enneagram, an ancient tool for new spiritual journey, written in 1991, published in 1990, by Crossroad Publishing Company. The writers are Richard Roch and Andras Albert. And I came across the 8 personalities. And if you ask me now, I know there are some other classifications elsewhere, apart from the 2 that I have mentioned earlier. But for the time being, until I come across something different, I will stick with this one. I'll stick with the Enneagram instead of now the 4 classifications or the 2 classifications of introverts and the extroverts. This one is removing the cobweb, because many a times you interact with the people and you see these are behaving this way, these are behaving in this manner, and you lack a clear explanation as to why do they behave like that. And this book answered that. But apart from answering that, and this is why I'm saying it is a dangerous book, is that you start seeing people for who they are, for the sin that is driving them to do what they do and how they do it. In fact, you'll see the struggles that people go through in this life. You will appreciate that all of us need an understanding from somebody else, because we are fallen short of the glory. Apart from that, you look back and say, I have this enemy, this enemy, this enemy, because he or she has behaved in this manner. He or she has stepped on my toe on this and this and this occasion. But when you read this book, you'll say, so they were doing that, or they did that because of this kind of a personality. And slowly by slowly, you'll find yourself kind of understanding them and then kind of forgiving them. Discovering the Enneagram. And something Richard is saying is that this method, he does not recommend this method to people who are very young. I also concur with him. Because if you read this classification, it might box you somewhere, especially if you have not had that chance, that opportunity to explore life in your free life, in your without really caring much whether you are a 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, a 5, a 6, a 7, or even an 8. But later on, when you are allowed, let's say, allowed 30 and above, I'd like you maybe to graduate from looking at people from as extroverts and introverts, or even the other 4 classification of personalities, and study this. This is someone who was senior that tpoopaman, and do have a nice time.